channel.
So in today's video, we're going to do a little bit of an anxiety 101 video, just kind of breaking down exactly what anxiety is and what the difference is between everyday normal anxiety versus an actual anxiety disorder. Ready?
Ready.
Let's jump into it.
Alright guys, so by definition, anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome.
So everyday anxiety, as humans, we have a self-defense mechanism, which is anxiety. So if a car was racing down the street and you're fearful that it was going to hit you, your anxiety towards that situation would be a normal amount of anxiety because your mind is trying to defend you from any sense of fear or any sense of danger. So that's a typical definition of everyday anxiety. Now, the definition for anxiety as a disorder, a mental disorder, is a nervous disorder characterized by a state of excessive uneasiness and apprehension, typically with compulsive behavior or panic attacks or anxiety attacks. So when it's a disorder, the difference between the two is that everyday anxiety is typically regarding a situation that's happening or a situation you're about to be in, but the length of your anxiety is short-lived. When you have an anxiety disorder, your anxiety and feelings of anxiousness are really, they last a longer duration of time. So if you were to have a test and you are scared that morning or having anxiety that morning, that's normal everyday anxiety. But if you had a test and you're freaking out like 4 to 3 weeks in advance, that would be typically a generalized anxiety disorder. So I found this image on the internet, which I think really will help you understand whether you're having everyday anxiety or if you have an anxiety disorder. So it's called Which Is It? The first one is everyday anxiety, worrying about paying bills, landing a job, a romantic breakup, or other important life events. Now the anxiety disorder part of that would be constant and unsustained worry that causes significant distress and interferes with daily life.
So the next one for everyday anxiety is embarrassment or self-consciousness in an uncomfortable or awkward social situation. An anxiety disorder is avoiding social situations for fear of being judged, embarrassment, or humiliation.
Next would be, for everyday anxiety, a case of nerves or sweating before a big test, business presentation, stage performance, or other significant event. For anxiety disorder, seemingly out of the blue panic attacks and the preoccupation with the fear of having another one.
Right, so the fourth one for everyday anxiety is a realistic fear of a dangerous object, place, or situation. And for anxiety disorder is irrational fear or avoidance of an object, place, or situation that poses little or no threat of danger.
And last is for everyday anxiety, anxiety, sadness, or difficulty sleeping immediately after a traumatic event. For anxiety disorder, it's reoccurring nightmares, flashbacks, or emotional numbing related to a traumatic event that occurred several months or years before. So I think that really helps you be able to decide kind of what you have. With anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder is also common to tag along for the ride. And one of those would be like the need to constantly wash your hands. That's something that I have. Or the need to constantly check if the stove is off, if your curling iron's off.
Yeah, I have to check before we go to bed. I have to check everything like 3 or 4 times.
In addition to me checking everything 3 or 4 times.
Or else she can't sleep. She can't sleep. Sometimes I forget to do it. I don't mean to, and I forget. Or if I forget to do it, say I do it, normally do it like 4 times. Say if I do 3, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and she'll be out here checking it, you know.
So if you do feel like you do suffer from OCD, and you do have the need to check things, what I've started to do is a band-aid technique. It's not going to help fix it, but it can just kind of get you to stop checking, is to take pictures. So I'll come out here, and to avoid me coming out 5 times, I'll just take a picture the first time I check everything. That way, when I'm in bed, I can stay in bed and just check my phone to make sure that everything is how it's supposed to be. In addition to anxiety, they call depression the ugly twin to anxiety. Majority of the time, depression and anxiety do correlate, and it is known that anxiety and depression occurs more in women than men. But you will feel with anxiety depressive feelings, and depression is just basically a lack of motivation to do anything, a lack of joy, a lack of happiness. And like it was saying in that photo, you do feel emotional numbing. So the things that once made you happy, or the things you once enjoyed doing, you no longer enjoy or no longer make you happy. So like that picture said, anxiety is more irrational fears and irrational thoughts. So like, the stove being on, well, it's kind of irrational fear.
Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, for someone who, for like normal anxiety, you check it once and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But with her, it's just like, it's I don't know, it's kind of crazy because sometimes we'll leave the house and we forgot to check the stove and we have to come back and check it, or else I'll be fine.
I can't function.
But she can't function, and it's just,
it's debilitating.
And it's just, because we've tried it before where we're kind of just like, all right, let's just go about our day and not worry about it, try to forget it, but she doesn't forget about it. And it kind of just, it impacts our whole day. I can tell she's not enjoying herself because we haven't checked the stove.
Yeah.
So
my mind's preoccupied.
Or something like that, something little like that. I mean, yeah, the stove is a big problem, but like I said, normally, if you check it once, you're fine. But with her, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
She has to check a couple times, and then she has me check it a couple times. And like she says, even then, she sometimes right before we leave the door, like she says, she records herself, making sure everything is off
and
locked. That way, if she does when she does get those feelings, she could just look at her phone, and she knows that, okay, I did lock everything, I did turn everything off, we're good.
It's a lot of like self-critical stuff. So kind of replaying either like conversations you had with people and like, oh my god, did I make a fool of myself? Or kind of replaying things that have happened in the past that you're upset with, just like you're gonna make mistakes through life. A lot of people can look at those mistakes and say, okay, I learned from it, moving on. I have a really hard time of letting go of those mistakes, and I just kind of like replay it until I just feel so bad about myself that like I'm in pure depression and I don't want to do anything.
Just says, there's things that's happened before we even met, and it still causes her to have anxiety, and since it's happened so long, like she says, she kind of beats herself about it, and it just, like I said, it's
unproductive.
It's unproductive,
You're a lot more harder on yourself, I would say, with anxiety. I think, it's easy to be hard on yourself, but I think with anxiety, it's to a whole nother level. Because I guess you're just fearful that, like, you're not good enough. And I didn't feel this way until I was in a relationship with Ivan. I wasn't this bad. And I don't mean for that to sound like it's Ivan's fault or anything like that. But I think, when you're in a relationship and you have the right morals and you have the right, like, mindset.
Slater's going crazy. Slater, come here. Come on.
Let him come up here.
You want to come up? Come on.
Watch your head.
Come on.
Slater, uppy. Uppy.
Up. What is? Slater.
Come on, Slate. Up.
Up. Come on.
Right.
Okay, there you go.
As when you're in a relationship, the focus is no longer just on yourself. You want to be the best for your spouse and your significant other. And I think for me, it's just, with my whole entire heart, like, I genuinely think that Ivan's the most genuine person I've ever met in my life. And he has a heart of gold, and he can do no wrong in my eyes. It's true, though. But I feel like because I look at him that way, I'm constantly playing a game of catch-up. And I'm constantly trying to get to that level of, like, being as good as you are, if that makes sense, you know, and because I don't look at myself that way. Like, I don't see myself with that lens. So I think that's why my anxiety's gotten so much worse in our relationship, because I just feel like, in a sense, like, you're too good for me, and that's an anxiety that I have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. But if anything, I would say that you're probably too good for me.
Lies. But I think regardless of your situation, and this is kind of a little bit of like a tangent, but regardless of your situation and regardless of what you go through, it's always important, and I think this should be another video, but I think it's important that before you get into any type of relationship, you do a lot of soul searching and try to understand what you can bring to the table, but what you need to be brought to the table as well. And I think both Ivan and I went through that. We did our soul searching, and we had a lot of time single before we met and before we started dating, where we really knew what we could offer, but also what we wanted and what we needed from the other person. And I think that's why we've done so well, and granted, our relationship has had major ups and downs, like not just kind of like medium, but like severe ups and downs. And I think we've been able to navigate through that because we both knew the other person had exactly what we needed. And in the beginning, we really laid it down as far as like, look, this is what I need, this is what I want. Can you offer that? And if so, let's get serious, you know? Let's get serious. And those conversations continue to happen throughout your relationship. You know, people grow, people change, your relationship changes. So there's constantly work needing to be put into your relationship. But I think it's really important for a long-lasting relationship to just really pinpoint if your needs can be met or not. Not me?
Yes, I do.
So anyways, we hope this... I have earlier, you know. We hope this video was helpful for you guys. We hope we kind of debunked some anxiety myths, if you will. If you guys have any questions about anxiety, anything that we didn't touch on today, please leave them in the comments below. We would love to chat with you guys about it and let you guys know anything else that we happen to know.
And also, we're not doctors.
We are not doctors.
So if you do feel like you kind of meet the
anxiety disorder side,
definitely go
see a doctor.
Go see a doctor. Don't take her. I mean, we're just trying to help out. Like Sasha said, she's kind of just showing you and the things she's experienced and what she's going through. It might not necessarily be the exact same thing for you guys.
Everyone is different. Everyone's journey and everyone's issues, if you will, are different from each other. So what I go through may not be what you go through, but if you just feel like some stuff stuck as far as the anxiety disorder, we advise you to go talk with someone, get it checked out, and make sure you're all good.
Yeah. And like Sasha said earlier, and she says it quite a lot actually, you know, the worst thing that can happen is to say that you don't have it, which is a good thing.
Yeah. My theory is I don't like the doctors, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And even if it's something minor, I always go and get it checked out, just because life is so unpredictable. And with my anxiety, I need answers.
She needs answers. She needs answers. Your mind isn't at ease until you get that answer. And even when you do get that answer,
you still may not be at ease.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the main part of anxiety disorder. It's really hard for your mind to stay calm and for your mind to stay quiet. It's really difficult. And if you do get those days, they're very few and far between. So anyways, our camera's about to die, so we're going to talk fast. We hope you guys liked this video. Please like, comment, share, and please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We'd love to have you here. Come and join the CorFam. Hope you understood that. And we'll see you guys on Friday.
Viernes.
Bye.
Dinamita.
Bye.